What's up, Night Owl? Steele here, back with another Candlekeep video, and today we're going to be having a look at the price of beauty. And as always, I've got a brand new map for this chapter, the Temple of the Restful Lily. You can find that in the Discord. Join the Discord, link is down there in the description. Set your role to Dungeon Master, and you can find it in the Dungeon Master Resources channel. And if you want to see these games take place live, I do stream on Twitch. Link is also down there in the description. You can come by and you can see any mistakes that I make when I'm running the chapter and any adjustments that I make to the chapter in real time. You can also ask me any questions that you might have about previous chapters or the chapter that I'm running. The premise of this chapter is pretty simple. The party is investigating the disappearance of an avowed at Candlekeep, and the trail leads them to a day spa run by a group of hags that have overtaken this day spa and taken it from a cleric of Sune. Apart from running the day spa, the Coven also makes dark bargains with their customers in order to curse them into a painting, feeding on their vanity. One of the cursed subjects is actually the founder of the day spa and is currently locked up in the basement of a shrine of Sune, and the curse has made her into a Medusa. This chapter is actually a really fun episode because it kind of has that vacation beach day vibes when the party arrives at this day spa. The hags actually treat the party like customers, even if they find out that they're adventurers, they still treat them like customers, and they get to enjoy this sort of day spa setting. They get a massage, they can chill out in the pool, they can exercise in the garden. The temple, the day spa, has these options for the party to just kind of run around and role play. It's a really role play heavy chapter, so keep that in mind. Now, eventually, the illusion starts to fade when the party starts investigating things. Certain NPCs within the temple know what's going on and are not happy with it, and they'll tell the party, and the party will eventually be dragged into some actual drama where they have to go and basically release the prisoners, the ones that are locked up in a painting, or the ones that have this curse attached to their painting. And once the paintings are destroyed, the curse is lifted. Now, obviously, the hags aren't going to be too thrilled about that, so it will probably be a combat with the hags. But anything could happen with your party, so it may not always result in a combat, but approach this chapter with the mindset that the party is going to go to this day spa, relax, kind of take it all in, just have fun with it, and then when you're ready to transition to the actual combat investigation portion of the chapter, that's when they can start being approached by NPCs who will inform them that this place isn't what it seems, and there's actually some shady stuff going on. Now, these are players that are playing in a D&D game, so they probably already know this, at least out of character. They're going to know that, this place probably isn't just, as soon as they look at a battle map, they're probably going to be like, this place probably isn't what it seems, but it's still a lot of fun. I actually read an interview with the writer of this chapter, Mark Holmes, and even he said that this is more of that beach episode where the party just kind of comes here and chills, and there's this light little adventure going on that they got to go deal with, destroying these paintings and releasing the cursed subjects, and then reestablishing this temple of the Restful Lily if they so choose. And I almost forgot to mention, the reason that this temple / day spa is important is because it's built around a natural hot spring with magically infused waters, kind of like Feywild magically infused waters. And these provide a lot of benefits. And the temple / day spa was built around this pool, and it actually has a naiad guarding the waters who is hostile to the hags, and the hags are aware of this spirit and are not happy about it being there, and they may even go so far as to recruit the party to deal with it. Also, because this is such a roleplay heavy chapter, you're going to want to get to know those NPCs that are here, mainly the 3 hags. Each of them have their own personality. Ilmar, the drow who is here investigating and looking for his friend, and Saith the Cambion, who is here, who was promised power from one of the hags and is kind of here making a deal. None of those NPCs that I just listed have any love for the other, not even those 3 hags. They're in a coven so they can get those sweet coven spells, but their loyalties go only that far. The Cambion is here trying to make a deal with one of the sisters so that they can get the power from those paintings, and in exchange that they do mundane tasks here at the temple until they can cash in. But they will not lay down their life for these hags. And then, of course, Ilmar is here looking for his friend, has no love for these hags or that Cambion, and possibly the water spirit, but their relationship isn't really defined. Now, as far as those paintings, there are a total of 4 NPCs that are cursed by paintings here at the temple, and they each have their own motives and desires, and you're going to want to read up on them as well. So Vari is the founder of the Temple of the Lily, and she is currently a Medusa locked up in the basement of the Shrine of Sune. Gorba is a dragonborn who made a deal for strength, and when the time came for the curse to kick in, the strength went away and the dragonborn withered up into a raisin and is now in the tower cleaning. Glitter is a tiefling noble from Waterdeep who made a deal to be taller. When the curse kicked in for him, he shrunk down and now he is a kobold. And Falthrax is the avowed that the party is currently looking for. They came here in order to make a deal to be younger so they get some of their youth back. When the curse hits, they became venerable and old and they're in pain, and they are also in the tower. These are the big names that you're going to want to get familiar with before you run this session because each of them have a lot of roleplay opportunities and the party may spend a good deal of time talking to them. This is especially true for those 3 hags that are running the place. These are the main villain of this chapter, and you're going to want to have them get a lot of face time with the party because right away, they're not necessarily hostile. The party has to investigate and find out what's going on, and then you can have this big moment where they have to face each other in combat, and they've actually had a history, and it's a really great moment when that switch flips because the entire time that the party is here, there is some tension, even though they're trying to enjoy this day spa. They know something's up, especially since all the servants that are working here in the temple are scarecrows in disguise. And then you have the 3 hags who kind of give off those creepy hag vibes. But it's really dependent on how thick you lay it on. Any experienced player is probably going to pick up on the whole hag vibe, seeing as there's 3 beautiful women here running this day spa, making shady deals. So it will depend on how you present it, as always. Now, I want to make one more note here before we move on to the map, and that's that if combat breaks out here in this temple, more than likely every single enemy here is going to be a participant. And of course, this depends on where the combat takes place. Obviously, if the party's fighting the Medusa, they're not going to have to worry about it. But if the party engages the hags, chances are the 2 gargoyles at the tower are going to jump in. The Cambion is going to jump in. One of the hags has a hound that is by her side at all times. That is actually a hellhound. And then, of course, there's all the scarecrows. This is going to be a very difficult fight for a 5th level party, even an experienced 5th level party. There are a lot of numbers and a lot of different stat blocks here, which another note that I should make here. If a combat breaks out and every single enemy is participating, you're going to have about 5 different stat blocks to look at. Let me see. Scarecrow, Green Hag, Cambion, Hellhound, Gargoyle. Yeah, 5 stat blocks that you're going to have to look at while this combat is going on. So get familiar with those. None of those are particularly difficult. They're all basically just run up and swing, but those hags do have spells as long as they're in a coven. So that's something you want to look at those spells. They're going to be hitting with polymorph. They are not going to have access to their 5th level spells because they have to use seeming in order to make all of these scarecrows look like, in order to disguise all the scarecrows. I'm going to say that again. The hags do not have access to their 5th level spells because they use seeming to make all the scarecrows, to hide all of the scarecrows. Of course, you could always rule that they've only cast it once today and they still have that other spell slot, but I just got rid of those 2 spell slots. And one more thing to note, they have a unique set of coven spells. They do not have the coven spells from the monster manual. They have their own set of coven spells to look at. So keep that in mind as well. Area 1 is the lobby, and this is where the party will meet Saith, the Cambion. Saith will be impersonating a host and will lead the party to the dressing room where they can deposit their stuff and change into their bathrobes. Area 2 is the changing room, and Saith will give each of the characters a numbered key that corresponds with their cubicle and their trunk. These require a DC 15 Thieves tools to open without the key, or they can force it open with a DC 12 Athletics. Area 3 is the lounge, and this is where the party will encounter Morgana. Morgana will take a very special interest in the party and will make note of their intentions for being here. Area 4 is the garden, and this is where Azursa does her workouts with the guests. Azursa is here working out with the guests most of the time because she enjoys watching them suffer, and she actually has a workout routine that she can put the party through in order to win a potion of Hill Giant strength. And the workout involves a bunch of skill checks. They make con checks for squats, athletics checks for tug of war with the awakened tree out here in the garden, and acrobatics checks for jump rope. Area 5 is the bath and hot spring. Here the party will encounter the naiad Serena, and it's up to you how Serena presents herself to the party. I personally made it to where she was hiding from guests, but she may take a special interest in the party when they show up, so she will kind of pop her head out of the water and sort of ask some questions to them and explain the situation with the hags and this could potentially be an NPC that the party learns from. An important thing to note about this pool, the hag and the cambion and all of their servants stay away from this pool because the naiad will not let them near the waters. They will take damage if they come here, and they know it, and they are looking for a way to get rid of Serena, and they may even recruit the party to do so. Area 6 is the kitchen. Here the party will encounter Greensong and her faithful hellhound Morty, who is in disguise as a regular hound when the party shows up. Greensong is here preparing meals for the guest, and every once in a while she will slip in putrid ingredients in order to poison the guests, under the guise that their impurities are leaving the body as a result of healthy living. Area 7 is the treatment room, and it's here the party will encounter the drow Ilmar. Ilmar has a lot of information. He's been here for the past 3 months, gathering information and researching where Sylvari may have gone to. So it'll be up to you as the DM how much information that you want Ilmar to have and kind of convey to the party. He will also offer to create a distraction for the party so that they can sneak into the tower and investigate. And he will also mention the dilapidated shrine out in the backyard. Area 8 is the storage room. This room is essentially just a supply closet, and there is one scarecrow here disguised as one of the staff members of the temple, and they are here sorting supplies and arranging boxes. Area 9 are the guest rooms. If the party decides to spend the night here, they will be shown to one of these rooms. And in the middle of the night, they may have the opportunity to meet Glitter, the kobold, who is a tiefling who was transformed into a kobold by one of the paintings. Area 10 is Ilmar's room, and this is where the drow sleeps. There is some notable treasure here: 3 diamonds worth 50 gold pieces, a holy symbol, 25 gold pieces, a chain shirt, and a rapier. I personally made the rapier adamantine because this is a 5th level party, and I just wanted to make the loot a little more drow themed and a little more interesting. Also, the party may be fighting gargoyles soon, so an adamantine weapon will help them bypass that resistance if they don't already have a magic weapon. Area 11 is the abandoned shrine. This shrine has fallen into disrepair due to a decade of neglect. The door or window to the shrine can be opened with a DC 20 athletics check, or the party could get in through the hole in the roof that's 30 feet above. Once inside, the party will find the staircase leading down to Area 12, the sacred pool. When your party makes it down to the basement of the shrine, they're going to encounter Sylvari and her pet water weird. Now, this encounter can either go with a combat or a roleplay encounter. If they decide to go the roleplay route, they're going to need to make a DC 15 persuasion check in order to talk down Sylvari and convince her that they are not a threat. Otherwise, they're going to have to get into combat, in which case water weird and Medusa stab block. Area 13 is the tower foyer, and it's here the party will encounter Gorba the Dragonborn, who has been cursed. Gorba knows what happened to Sylvari, and Gorba also knows their way around the tower, but they will not share that information with the party without a DC 20 persuasion check. Area 14 is Saith's room. If the party hasn't learned that Saith is a cambion yet, they can pick up some clues here in his room. For one, the scale mail armor here is customized for a wearer with a tail, and the 2 short swords here have infernal glyphs on them. Area 15 is the tower studio. This is where the hags take anybody that wants to bargain for their special gift. This includes party members if you happen to have a party member that is willing to have a painting created of them in order to gain some benefits, which are covered in the curse section. Area 16 is the tower kitchen. The party will encounter a gargoyle here disguised as an elf statue, and also Falthrax is here. If the gargoyle is dealt with, then Falthrax will plead with the party to help him break the curse. Area 17 is the victims' quarters, and it's here the party will find where 3 of the 4 victims of the hag's curse sleep and eat. The 4th obviously being Sylvari, who is at the basement of the shrine. But all 4 of the paintings are here in this room that are capable of lifting the hag's curse, which can only be destroyed by spilling celestial blood on it, or by making a successful DC 20 strength check, but a failure will result in some psychic damage. And finally, Area 18 is the hag's lair. There is a glyph of warding at the top of the stairs that can be found with a DC 13 investigation check, otherwise it will explode and deal 5d8 acid damage. The party will also find a spell scroll of clairvoyance, and you can also choose to spice up the loot here a bit because this is the big villain's lair. And the book describes that there are objects and crates that are souvenirs belonging to the victims of the hags over the 10 years. So this is your opportunity to really spice up the loot here. And that's it for the price of beauty. I really enjoyed this chapter. This is a nice, chill beach episode type chapter. I really liked it. It starts off so relaxing and it's really role play heavy. And you get to kind of explore and do a spa day. That was really fun. I really like how this chapter turned out. This is one of my favorites so far for sure. And if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to be a part of this Discord or this D&D community rather, join the Discord. Link is down there in the description. Come by, ask questions. Let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you at sundown.